This book review is on the hardback titled A Calamity of Souls. I'm the Anger Guy. I'm going to tell you like it is. It was 1968 in Pennsylvania. After a hot summer, I was in ninth grade in a school that housed 7th through 12th graders. That meant when walking through the hallways between classes, you would get your ears thumped or your shoulder punched, or sometimes both. On this particular day, the bell rang after gym class. I walked out the double doors, exiting to the 11th and 12th grade wing, heading down to my next class towards the 9th and 10th grade wing, while short and tall students started to pass each other in the hallway. 20 feet ahead of me, it was as if a magnet was thrown in the middle of the hallway, and instantly all the students were drawn to a magnetic force. Then suddenly fists started to fly everywhere with arms flailing and girls screaming. I was in shock, and I just stood there. I was too scared to move. I remember two teachers ran out of their rooms, Mr. W and Mr. H. They tried to separate the students. I wouldn't have minded if Mr. H got hit, seriously. I couldn't stand that guy. Thinking back and accepting the excuse for the riot was the black guys were dating the white girls. Not until I read the book A Calamity of Souls did I realize the true reason for that riot. How the school settled the riots down was they formed two teams to play a basketball game with a mix of black and white players on each team. It's weird. I haven't thought about what happened then until after I read this book. How naive with blind acceptance I was, just like Jack Lee, the main character in the book, who was brought up with mostly white people who were kind of prejudiced against black folks. The book A Calamity of Souls is about a white lawyer, Jack Lee, who was brought up in Southern Virginia during one of the true riotous years of the late 60s. When Jack was alone, his thoughts would think about his own mother and father. Not dealing with or just plain ignoring the racism all around him while growing up, Jack Lee decides to push back a little bit and represent Jerome Washington, a black man charged with killing a white, rich, prominent couple. As soon as he accepted the case, he felt all eyes were on him, even his mother and father, but not his sister or brother. Jack Lee was not sure he did the right thing by accepting this case simply for the fact in short time he realized this case would affect not only his small town, but his entire state and even the upcoming presidential election. First of all, the book A Calamity of Soul does not preach to you as the storyline travels through tumultuous times while trying to show views of black folks and how they survive each day, even in today's culture. The book also shows how a white guy, namely Jack Lee's eyes were slowly opened to how black folks were treated by white folks. Out of the 480 pages, the author placed his worm, All Rise, on the hook on the page 151. On page 171, he was moving his fishing line back and forth in front of me, just teasing me with the All Rise again. Then on page 189, I took a little nibble and the author yanked hard on the line and hooked me. After that, I'm going to say something I've never said before about a book. For me, at chapter 36 and on, the book Calamity of Souls was a page turner for me. I could not put that book down. If I did, I would putsy around thinking, I should do my next movie review. But I couldn't. I would sneak off back to the bedroom and continue reading. The storyline ran like how my old rooster named Cluck would walk around the hen house. He would take 2 steps forward, then 1 step back. Like this storyline, it drove me crazy. I thought to myself, can't the main characters get a break and move on? No, Mr. David Baldacci wouldn't have it. To me, the book looked intimidating with 480 pages with small like single space between lines. But he wrote the storyline in such a way it was simply captivating. The characters were genuine, stayed true to their colors. The story read fast and the ending did not end with rainbows and unicorns, which I love. Out of an alphabetic score, I give the book A Calamity of Souls an A++. My better half loves paperbacks, but she bought the hardcover book just for me, and I was glad she did. Have to admit, I never owned a rooster. That was just a simile or whatever. Only thing that would come close is when my parents bought their first house when I was 5. There was an old chicken coop in the backyard. It had a bank of windows in front along with a little chute coming out, and it was so cobwebbing and dusting inside. I was told to stay out of it because I could have caught chicken lice. Well, eventually my dad tore it down. Later on, I found out humans can't catch chicken lice, along with a girl can't get pregnant if you kissed her. Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate your viewing and value your comments. Thank you. I just want to know if you're going to stick around because I don't want to admit this, but I have to. I must be getting old. I have to admit, this is the only book that I read in my life that I teared up. Not once, but twice.